Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to another Decrypting Crypto live stream. I'm your host, Matthew Batiri, all by myself today. We've got a few things happening right after this stream. My normal partner in crime, Wasim, is getting ready for our 1K a day workshop. If you are someone that's interested to learn how myself and the team are earning 1K a day in passive income through DeFi projects and also some other little tricky things, please feel free to click the link below or type that into your browser. Register yourself. We have a 1K day webinar this evening at 7 p.m. and also tomorrow morning. Now, before I get started, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm not feeling the best. I have my tissue box. I have my Vicks Vapor Rub nose inhaler. I've come down with something today. I don't know what it is. It could be the worst and most severest case of man flu or hay fever. But I will try and get through this, much like we are all trying to get through this bear market. So with today, we're going to start off with some news highlights. And the markets face what could be the most important week of summer with Fed earnings and economic data. So the busiest and what could be the most important week of the summer is coming up, with the Federal Reserve expected to deliver another 3/4 point rate hike. Now, the second quarter GDP and other economic reports could provide more clues as to whether the economy is heading for a recession, and earnings are expected from Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, and others. So one strategist said, for me, the real tell will be whether the attitude of investors continues to be that the earnings season is better than feared. So two largest US companies, Microsoft, Apple, report Tuesday and Thursday, respectively. Google parent Alphabet releases results on Tuesday, and Amazon reports on Thursday. Meta platform, aka Facebook, reports on Wednesday. And all in all, more than a third of S&P 500 companies are reporting. So the reports are really quite a big, decisive key as to whether what we see investors pull their money from the stock market or put it back in. And this is huge because tech stocks are always correlated with crypto markets, and it's highly correlated. If you look at any tech stock and you look at Bitcoin stock, it pumps and it dumps very similarly. So if you always want to know what Bitcoin's going to do, always kind of good to check out NASDAQ and all those sort of S&P 500 sort of companies to see how they are faring. And if we see a bit of a loss this week, I can assure you that Bitcoin will probably follow suit. So volatility is likely due to continue until the end of July and August. For the crypto market, volatility is good. For myself, I'm a trader, so volatility is good. And the bottom might not be in yet, and we just might continue DCAing while all of this news unfolds. So you've heard us many a times before say on this stream that DCAing is the best strategy during the bear market. It's going to be very difficult to predict where the bottom is in, especially now that we are possibly into a recession. This is the first time the crypto market is experiencing such a downturn because of obviously the global economic crisis, the wars, and all that type of jazz. Excuse me, we haven't spent this much time under the 200 period weekly moving average, and it's just interesting to see how things are going to play out in the future. Of course, we still believe in crypto, but this is a real test for crypto because it was created in times like this back at the GFC in 2007, 2008. And this is why if we can survive this, which I know we will, it's only going to give and show more power to the crypto market, and why people should obviously be putting some of their long-term assets into the crypto market. All right, moving right along. So targeting the US dollar hedge money, Russia, China, and the BRICS nation plan to craft a new international reserve currency. So while inflation data in Europe and the US has risen significantly higher last month, Russia and members of the BRICS country revealed leaders in 5 major emerging economies are in the midst of creating an international reserve currency, an analyst believes. And the BRICS reserve currency is meant to rival the US dollar and the International Monetary Fund, special drawings rights currency. So basically, if you know a little bit about currencies, then you know that most currencies have a bit of a life cycle of like 200 years. We've shown a graph before in the DC live stream. And, the US dollar is doing quite well at the moment, the DXY, but it's important to know that it's no wonder other countries want to get that power, want to have their currency as the reserve currency, because it brings a lot of power to that country. And obviously the US has been the biggest superpower for a long period of time, ever since the last couple of world wars. So it's interesting to see how things are going to play out. And I feel like as humans, we're not really learning from our mistakes from the previous world wars. It feels like we're still trying to gain more land, make more money than everyone else, and we're happy to knock each other off our pedestal rather than trying to work harmoniously. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if this obviously does come through. Now, excuse me. Additionally, he added, the matter of creating the international reserve currency based on the basket of currencies of other countries is under review, Putin said at the time, and we're ready to openly work with all fair partners, he added. Additionally, Turkey, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia are considering joining the BRICS group. Analysts believe the BRICS move to create a reserve currency is an attempt to undermine the US dollar and the IMF, which we just said. So if this move comes to fruition, it might create more conflict between nations. As we all know, the US dollar is the world reserve currency, and the BRICS country are trying to make their own reserve currency. It's a recipe for conflict. I don't know about you, but I feel like we're already in conflict. And the safest bet in the middle is obviously of this fiat currency battle is to diversify into a trustless, decentralized form of money, such as Bitcoin, where no government can control it or manipulate it. And it should have obviously a limited supply. It should be borderless and deflationary form of money. And if you know much about Bitcoin and blockchain, that basically sums up why it was created. Moving along. Financial expert Grummies predicts Bitcoin's next bull run will occur in a year. So Florian Grums, the managing director of investment advisory firm Midas Touch Consulting, believes that despite Bitcoin's recent minor gains, the asset's next bull run will take longer. Speaking during an interview with Kitco News on July 23, Grummies, I should say. I'm thinking gummies because I just had some gummy bears to try and get my energy back. Grummies suggests that the next rally will occur likely within 6 to 12 months ahead of Bitcoin's halving event slated for May 2024. Now, according to the professional investor, the current market sentiment indicates that Bitcoin might be up for a relief rally in the summer, likely to hit to 35,000, while stressing that the crypto winter is far from over. So one key thing I want you to take about all these numbers that we're throwing out, if you talk to 100 different people, they're going to give you 100 different price indications of where the bottom will be, where the next all-time high will be, and you'll find that 0.01% of people will be right. And that's it. You can have professional investors and traders alike all giving you different numbers. We don't know where the bottom is in. We won't know where the all-time high is in. That's why it's important to dollar cost average on the way down and dollar cost average on the way up, taking your profits with you. So we're still in the bear market in grand scheme of things, and it's still the best time to accumulate Bitcoin, especially at these prices. And the macro environment is also not suitable for a bull run, as the Fed is doing quantitative tightening and increasing interest rates, as well as here in Australia. And the combination of these two is bad for the market, plus the high inflation / stagflation. All right, moving on. Despite the bear market, Bitcoin's Lightning Network capacity reaches a new high. So the constant growth of the Bitcoin Lightning Network continues to accelerate after attaining another milestone, undeterred by the ongoing crypto bear market. In particular, the Lightning Network's total capacity in public channels has hit 4,290 Bitcoin, an increase in 34.6%, and a total growth of 1,102 Bitcoin after Bitcoin's price recorded the last all-time high of almost 68,000 in November last year. On-chain data by crypto analysts performed by Glassstone indicated on July 22nd. So the platform revealed Bitcoin's Lightning Network capacity in public channels continues to push to new heights despite prevailing bear market headwinds. Now, if you don't know about the Lightning Network, it just allows you to basically spend Bitcoin a lot faster rather than usually waiting that 10 to 20 minute block size. So basically when miners are trying to validate transactions, it usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes, but the Lightning Network makes it go a lot faster. That's just something that a lot of people like to use. But however, we've spoken about it on the live stream before. Myself and with Sim and Michael, we don't like spending our Bitcoin. It's like gold. You want to hold it for as long as possible because we know it's going to $1 million sometime in the future. Lastly, on the news highlights, 80% of all Bitcoins are held by long-term investors. So if you look at this graph here, we can see that during every cycle bottom, long-term holders are the holders of last resort, providing Bitcoin with strong support. Now, data from Glassnode has shown that 80% of Bitcoin's circulating supply sits in the hands of long-term holders, defined as users that have owned Bitcoin for at least 6 months. Long-term holders are usually the ones forming strong support for Bitcoin market cycle bottoms. Now, long-term holders are considered to be smart money in the Bitcoin market, and they're usually seen accumulating Bitcoin during the suppressed markets. Once a bull market sets in, those long-term holders are the ones distributing and accumulating Bitcoin and taking most of the profits, on the way up. Now, on-chain data strongly supports this theory. The chart above right here clearly shows that each time Bitcoin claimed a new all-time high, those long-term holders sold off their holdings during every cycle bottom. During every cycle bottom, long-term holders are the holders of last resort, providing Bitcoin with strong support. So interesting to see that right now they're accumulating. We've been saying for a while that those big, large whales that are holding over 100 Bitcoin have been accumulating little by little. So we don't know if the bottom is in yet. I don't believe that it is in yet, and we'll see what happens in obviously the next few months. Alrighty, moving on to the Twitter highlights, probably my favorite section because it's always a section that I take care of. So Robert Kiyosaki tweets, US bond market crashes, biggest bond crash since 1788. China's RE bond market crashing over 90 million empty condos in China. Bond market's bigger than stock market. I'm buying more gold, silver now and waiting for Bitcoin to go lower. So we're obviously living in unprecedented times where the macro environment is so bad that there's a war going on, a pandemic, and a supply chain distribution, and obviously the new pandemic, the monkeypox that everyone's talking about. There might be more pain in the market and the bottom may not be in. Hopefully I don't have monkeypox. It doesn't feel like anything too severe, but it's a severe case of the man flu, whatever it is that I'm having today. Lark Davis, hashtag Bitcoin could keep it up this week and failed. Sorry, just couldn't keep it up this week and failed to stay above the 200 weekly moving average. I just spoke about that before. It's been, I think, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been 6 weeks now that we've been below the 200-week moving average. It's been a long time. This is definitely uncharted waters. And basically, excuse me, if the current price stays the same, this is why I think that if we're getting held down by this 200 period weekly moving average, we should probably see lower, because this is, I think, has been the longest time that Bitcoin has stayed under the 200 period moving average during a bear market. So very interesting and unprecedented times, as I just said. Next one by Will Clemente. Big week, the FOMC meeting, big tech earnings, Q2 GDP should be another fun one. So we covered that at the start. We're going to be seeing some volatility because a lot of companies are going to be showing how much money they've either made or lost. This is going to bring confidence to investors returning or exiting the current market. So big things to come. So he also... blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I've just said basically that the Q2 GDP advanced estimate is to be released on July 28 and gives a clue if we're going to be in a recession based on the results of the estimate. Based on the results of the estimate, but the body that officially declares a recession is the National Bureau of Economic Research. So I might log into their website to see what they have to say after this week. Next one is by Altcoin Daily. Hashtag Bitcoin is the most reliable network on the internet with 99.99% uptime since January 3rd, 2009. So Bitcoin is still the strongest amongst all the cryptocurrencies. And when you invest in crypto, Bitcoin should still be the majority of your portfolio. It is the most reliable network. So unlike Solana and many others which had outages and pauses in this recent year, we know that Bitcoin obviously is quite strong. We know that the continuous growth of the hash rate makes it as strong as what it is. So I have complete faith in Bitcoin. When people always ask me, what are you buying during a bear market? I just always say Bitcoin. I don't really say anything else because I know that Bitcoin is basically always going to go up and to the right. It stayed in the top 10 ever since its inception on CoinMarketCap in 2009, and it will remain at the top unless we have a flippening with Ethereum, but I don't think that'll be happening personally. Lastly, Ben Armstrong, crypto makes regular people millionaires. This is why the elites hate it. This is why the media hates it. This is why stockbrokers hate it. This is why politicians hate it. Because the truth is, they despise you. They want you to fail. So they want you to be poor. Obviously, they want the richer to be richer and the poorer to get poorer. And they want you to remain in the rat race. They want you to be in debt and they don't want you to be free. So this is the reason why knowledge and education with digital assets are very important. It gives you the edge. It will give you a way out of the financial matrix and achieve financial freedom. So if you want to learn more about this stuff and how we are educating our clients in order to make a change for their life, make a change in their wealth and finances and for their family, feel free to register, like I said, for the workshop. It's at 7 p.m. tonight. We have one this evening. We have one tomorrow morning. Type that into your browser, book yourself a spot because this is going to be the last time that we run this for this month, and we'd hate for you guys to miss out. Alrighty, moving on to adoption highlights. It's funny when you're sick, you just start saying things differently than what you would normally say. Anyways, moving right along. Spain's top communication firms, Telefonica, will invest in the metaverse through Gamium. So, metaverse initiatives have become popular for companies and VCs to invest in during this market downturn. And Telefonica is one of the biggest communication companies in Spain. And it's announced that it will fortify its metaverse investment by supporting Gamium, a Spanish virtual world initiative. This Barcelona-based company has raised €1 million with the sales of land on its platform in just 10 days, and it is advertised as the first decentralized metaverse. Now, the investment whose numbers were not disclosed will be made through Wayra, an open, innovative platform of Telefonica that serves to incubate tech-related projects. Now, the Gamium metaverse will be available through 3D VR-based channels, and according to local reports, also will have an app allowing users to create their own businesses and events in the metaverse to create an online economy for the platform. Now, one of the creators said, we're excited to invest in one of the investors said, we're excited to invest in Gamium, a very talented team in the crypto and blockchain world, committed to innovation and with the ambition to build the foundation of new, more decentralized internet that empowers creators. So it's a great time to be getting into the metaverse. I don't know about you guys, but myself and plenty of guys here at Breakout Solutions, we're in Sandbox, Decentraland, and Ember Sword. So if you want to check those out on OpenSea or just Google them, those are the projects that we think are going to do really well this upcoming bull run. Moving on, SABIC, a Saudi chemical manufacturer, has launched a blockchain pilot project. It obviously, they recently said that it had launched a blockchain pilot project in conjunction with the technology firm Finboot. According to the chemicals producer, the objective of the pilot is to investigate the possibilities of blockchain technology in supporting end-to-end digital traceability of circular feedstock raw materials in customer products. So in a press statement, SABIC said, the current process of tracing the journey of feedstock is made difficult by the complex petrochemical value in chain. Therefore, through the pilot, SABIC, which is 70% owned by Saudi Arabia's oil giant Aramco, plans to trace the products from feedstock production to the converter, going further than previous industry applications of blockchain in end-to-end tracing. So the blockchain pilot is expected to reduce costs and time, as well as improve data integration, the statement said. The company also hopes the pilot will help reduce administrative efforts related to the certification process of materials. So it's obviously huge news as SABIC owns oil giant Aramco, and this proves that obviously blockchain adoption now involves huge companies not only in Dubai but also in Saudi Arabia. And there's lots of systems that can be put on blockchain. It's not always just about money. Just remember that. NFTs, for example, there's plenty of things out there that the blockchain is used for. One of the biggest ones is actually VeChain, big company in China. They also sponsor the UFC. So if you haven't seen them, maybe I know that I've got a small bag of VeChain because I think they're doing great things, and also because they support UFC, one of my favorite sports. Alrighty, next on is Xiaomi files a patent to create genetic sequences-based virtual characters for blockchain. So one of the world's biggest mobile phone and technology firms, Xiaomi, has submitted a patent application that utilizes blockchain technology to facilitate the production of its original digital characters. The patent, titled Virtual Character Processing Method, Device, and Storage Medium, was introduced in January 2022, but was just recently disclosed by the company in China, according to the Chinese Tiansha app. Now, I don't know if I did that too well, but let's see if I can find it, and maybe one of you guys can pronounce that a little bit better. Tianyansha. Okay, I gave it a go. Due to the blockchain's decentralized nature and immutable properties, an increasing number of businesses are incorporating it into their new product design. As per the present disclosed, the patent can generate virtual characters with different images according to different gene sequences. Xiaomi, well known for its mobile phones and other electrical devices, recently made public the patent application that describes the company's use of blockchain technology in the process of creating its virtual characters. Now, the combination of technologies uses blockchain technology to store the information of virtual characters to ensure that the virtual characters are unique, not replicable, sounds like an NFT, and destroyable by utilizing the transparency and decentralization feature of blockchain technology. So obviously, huge adoption news. Xiaomi is a huge company. I think they're one of those companies where you're not allowed to actually get access to their phones in Australia, but I could be wrong on that. I know there's a few Chinese companies whose phones aren't accessible in Australia, or they don't import it, or there's something like that. But, a huge tech giant like this building during the bear market, obviously very smart. We talk about this all the times. Those smart companies start investing now in the bear market, getting ready for that next bull run. Next on, Mexican expansion is a goal for Mercado Bitcoin cryptocurrency exchange. So Brazilian crypto exchange Mercado Bitcoin could begin operating in Mexico sometime in 2022, pending regulatory approval. So speaking to Cointelegraph on Thursday, Mercado Bitcoin CEO Ronaldo Rebelo said that the company was awaiting regulatory approval to start operations in Mexico. The detail of the expansions are unclear, but Rebelo said that in an April interview with Cointelegraph Brazil that acquiring a crypto exchange was an easier route to operate a new market to avoid starting from scratch. And in January, Mercado Bitcoin's operator 2TM Group bought a controlling stake in Lisbon-based crypto exchange. If you don't know where Lisbon is, that's in Portugal. Crypto Loja, as part of the company's expansion into Portugal. There you go, it revealed it. Coinbase was also reportedly in talks to purchase 2TM with a valuation of more than $2 billion at the time, but ended discussions in May. That's probably why they probably ended discussions, because they were going through some financial issues themselves. So hopefully Coinbase does get out of this. I know, being the biggest sort of exchange in the US, it's important for them to survive this bear market. So I'm really rooting for them, because we don't need another Three Arrows Celsius issue also plaguing the crypto sphere. Alrighty, lastly on the adoption highlights, Governor of Philippine Central Bank affirms that there's no plans to ban cryptocurrency. So central banks in Asia have made clear their position on cryptocurrency, while some welcome it as an emerging technology, some want it banned. As for new Banco Central Filipinas, Governor Felipe Medalla banning cryptocurrencies in the country is out of the question. That's good news for crypto users in the Philippines, which is the world's 5th largest crypto market, according to polling and survey sites Finder. Forecasts Jenny Ortiz spoke one-on-one with Medalla about his position on cryptocurrency, the BSP's plan on central bank digital currency, CBDC, and the future of digital banking in the country. And Felipe Medalla, BSP governor, said, "I don't want it banned, but I don't want to call it a cryptocurrency, because it's really very little used for actual payments, especially when the price is so volatile. Because if the price is rising very fast, the people who own it will naturally not want to use it. But if you use it to buy something and its value rises, you'll regret it." So super interesting, great for crypto users in the country. As the governor of the central bank said, there's no plans to ban crypto, obviously. And yeah, it's interesting to know that the Philippines is the 5th largest users of cryptocurrency. That I did not know. So like always great to learn something new today. All right, you guys, we are finishing off with the market analysis. So this is the Bitcoin chart. So if we quickly go to the monthly, we'll just go zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. All right, we can see that we have we had that big retracement. We're still kind of hovering around that $21,000 mark. On a weekly scale, things are looking okay. We kind of got this sideways consolidation. I feel like I'm always saying sideways consolidation, but if we do zoom in, we do have this upward trend line, this green trend line. Hopefully it does load up in a second. Like always, there we are. So we have this trend line right here. We have the point of control of this entire sideways range at 20,500. So if I was to just put a horizontal line at 20,500, thereabouts, this is going to be interesting because what we did over the last day or so, we had this possible bull flag. All right, so we had the pole of the flag, we had the actual flag, but instead of breaking up, we broke down. We broke below the value area high of this entire sideways range. So what happens when you break through a value area high? You tend to get price retracing to the point of control of the entire range, which is right now about 20,500. So what I expect in the next couple of days, either from here, we either come up to the value area high, which is at 22,500, come back down to the point of control, excuse me, or we do the reverse. We do the point of control, maybe come up to the value area high, then come back down. And if the point of control, most importantly, does not support us, we have the value area low down here, and we have this magnificent trend line that's kind of supported the Bitcoin price for a while. We did have this, I guess, ascending triangle for a little while, but we seem to have made a bit of a fake out. We are in a bear market, so always smart to kind of short any pumps in prices, because until we see a change in market structure by creating a higher low, we've got a higher low here, sorry, but until we create a higher high above one of these macro times of consolidation, it's still a bear market. We're going to be in a bear market for a little bit of time. So it's still time to dollar cost average and not jump into things too fast. So what I'm looking for today or over this week is support at 20,500. If we lose support at 19,600 or this upward trend line. And if we do come back up to the upside, I'll be looking at resistance at 20,400, 500-ish, and looking to either short or slash sell Bitcoin here. But if we break this, that's going to leave some positivity, and we may go to higher prices around $26,500, $28,500. Alrighty, guys, that is it for the DC live stream today. Once again, I just want to remind you that we have our 1K a day webinar after this at 7 p.m. this evening. I'll just double check that it is 7 p.m. I'd hate to be telling you the wrong time. And then from there, is it 7 p.m. or it's 6 p.m.? That's at 6 p.m. There you go. I was incorrect. It's at 6 p.m. this evening. So in a half an hour's time, type that link below into your browser, register for this evening's 1K day webinar. We do also have one at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, usually better suited time for our international viewers. So if you'd like to check that out, please do so. And that's it from me today. Hopefully I feel a lot better. Excuse me. Hopefully I feel a lot better on Friday. Hopefully I have my partners in crime back as well, helping me run the show. But apart from that, enjoy your week, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday, guys. Have a fantastic afternoon and evening, and that's it from me. Bye.